everyone, my name is Tamypu and my full name is Thái Mỹ Phương. I was born in a seaside city. From the age of 18 years old, I enjoyed 5 wonderful years at the University of Architecture, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and then 2 unforgettable years study MA Sequential Design and Illustration at the UK. And my dreams is to publish, create, illustrate 100 picture books during my life. And currently I have a kids more than 25. I simply love to communicate with visual and narrative forms in which imagination and thoughts can say hello to everyone in the world at any time.
We've just finished seeing the clip of our guest today, and I am so honored to welcome her. Tamypu, come on out.
Hi, everyone.
So nice to have you.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Have a seat. You know, we all know, guys, that Tamypu is very, very famous. This may be the first time that you've met her, but you might have seen some of her cover drawings. You might have also read some of her children's stories. And we're definitely going to maybe talk a little bit about some of these stories in today's session. Guys, these are some of the drawings. Have you guys seen all of this? How did your creativity and the ideas for these?
Normally, I got a script. And I need to plan a lot of ideas and options. And then I suggest to the boss or my leader. And then if they agree the option, I start to color and make it in a detailed level.
But I've seen some of your pictures on social media, right? And you're painting this fried egg. And they look very realistic.
Thank you. It's a real photograph. During the time I was studying in the UK, my financial condition wasn't good enough. So for one project, I had no idea what I could do. So I opened the kitchen and I see the egg and the breast. So I think, what should I do for this to create a story? And then, okay, let's start a story with the eggs and the breast, and it just become the book like this.
And what was that story? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The project is telling about typical story, but I want to do something new, so I create the story of one king, 3 different eggs, the boiled egg, the fried egg, and the fresh egg. Yeah, and the king is like, it's just like something that we put the food on here, like the plate. And it's gonna eat the egg. So how can the eggs fight to this, and how they fight together?
That's really, really interesting. Now you've transitioned from just working on, you know, covers to really creating stories. And that occurred after you went abroad or even before?
I think actually the same purpose, but different form. Like for book cover, we communicate the message, the story of different writer into one artwork. But in story, like we have a many ways to tell the message and story. So it's just the narration and the sequential arcs. And people can enjoy the story like more visually and different moments in comparison with the book cover, because the book we need like a lot of space for the text and the writing and the sentence of the writer. So that's why it's only visual appear on the book cover.
Yeah. Now, if you were to turn your life into this story, right, your whole life up until this point, into either a cover or a short, you know, 1 sentence or 1 line story, what is that going to be?
Because I love communicate my experience and lesson to different visual form. So it can be like one single diary drawing. It can be one book like the novel, but it can be the animation too. So it depends on how I develop the skill to communicate visual with everyone. I will produce a lot of form. And I hope in the future I can make the longer film to tell my story.
You got a scholarship to go to study in the UK in Brighton.
Yeah.
And it stems from an environment where you had no resources at all. You had to maneuver everything by yourself. How you went through this process?
I wasn't thinking about the dream of study abroad. But my father always want me to go further this country. From the age I 26, so because I study interior design for 5 years, but I work for publishing like 10 years. I'm not very confident in terms of professional fields like publishing or graphic novel or storytelling. So should I go to study in different country? But I have no English certification. So when I take the TOEFL IBT first, and it's like very low, and I was crying a lot, and I realized I need the longer time, like from 27 years old, and I need a longer time to get my dream. So I just obsessed, but restart again. So I take IELTS more than 5 times. And during that time, I have one interview from the University of Brighton. They come to here. So I went to them, and I was lucky enough to get the scholarship partly, but the rest I pay by myself. Yeah.
You know, I really love your story because I think it just showcases to people that, you know, when you don't set a hard deadline to something, it can still definitely happen. Let's take a look at some of these pictures. They are incredible, right? You know, did you style yourself?
Actually, like I told you that I wasn't very happily financially. So this one actually like the second hand.
Oh, wow.
I got it because it can protect me from the rainy season, but still like warm and light enough because I even didn't have enough money to go to a public transport station. So I walked like 2 hours or 3 hours per day to the university. So this one's like, after 0 months I start to have a friend. So they gave me additional custom to support me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this one is just the old one I bring from Vietnam.
It's really amazing that you know, I think it's so inspiring. I was a poor student as well when I was going to university, right? But being able to walk all the way and, you know, to be able to sustain yourself fully on what you've made, that is incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I was in poverty. I'm so happy because I discovered my inner ability. I didn't know I had the strength to overcome some difficulty that I have no idea about. It's like no language, no money, no friends, no family, nothing. It's just like restart again when you around 28 or 29. Restart again.
So, you know, one of the things that we'd love to discuss here on the show is definitely English as a language, right? And you're a person who taught yourself English.
Yeah.
What was that process like for you? How did you teach yourself in 3 years to get from a really low TOEFL score to being able to go to school?
Actually, in 6 months, because the University of Brighton, they gave me like the deadline 6 months because I won the interview during like March. And the course will start during September. So I had 6 months to turn 3.5 IELTS, become 6.5. Wow. So it still couldn't happen. I just turned from 3.5 to 6, to 6 and still some skill like under. So after I sent them a lot of IELTS certification, so I don't know, one secret person in the university, they finally accept me the class because he wrote the email that, okay, bring her to the UK and give her the free course to study English because they accept my portfolio and my effort.
Wow.
So when I came to the UK, I take the IELTS test again and I got 6.5.
I have to ask you this. You're an artist, you're a creator.
Yeah.
And of course you create with many different mediums.
Yeah.
What do you like to talk about in these creations that you create?
I even didn't think about this because to me I learn every day, and I want to keep the daily lesson by my drawing. So even when I feel so bad, or I feel happy, or like I feel angry, or I feel disappointed, I draw it, and I share to everyone because I think like every moment have the value. And it will be lovely to keep it and appreciate it. So when I look back again, I realize that I have a wonderful life. Because my father, he was the musician. So he passed away by the cancer. So during the funeral time, my mom have a speech about himself. So I remember it's one sentence he told about my father that it become my like motivation. He told us people one day will die, but their art live forever. So that's why I will do anything to communicate visually to everyone. So it can keep forever, but it can become the motivation for the next generation in a simple way.
That's great. You know, you can be gone, but your art lives forever, and it's a form of communication with other people. So let's open the floor for people to be able to communicate with you. Does the audience have any questions for our lovely guest Tamypu today?
I'm the person who really like the art, but I don't know anything about art. So that's the thing that I really admire you. And my question is about your learning route, because you start with the 3.0, right? And then you can reach to 6.5. So can you share a little bit about that?
It was a painful time I had in my life, like because you know, like take IELTS test many times and nothing changed a lot. After the first 3 tests, and I can get the 6 or 6.5, so I made one decision, like final decision, because I don't want to lose the scholarship from the University of Brighton. So I fly to Singapore for 1 month because I need the English environment. So I stay at my friend's apartment and I go to the public library every day, and I try to take the reading test or the listening test or writing test in a very noisy place, like example on the airplane or on the like shopping mall or anything. So I want to practice how I can focus, because like just in short time my vocabulary cannot increase, grammar cannot, everything cannot, but only the skill with the test. Like the focus, how to manage the time, or how to avoid the nervous feeling. So, or sometimes I just like put the paper on the table, the same with the test. So I just like practice like subconsciously the reflection. So that's how I can try to save my time in the test room. Yeah.
That's great, thank you very much. It's a really creative solution to a problem that I think a lot of people face. Oh, we have now a lot of hands. That's great.
Thank you, Em.
Yes.
So happy to see you today because I follow your Instagram and
you.
I like every single post of you on Instagram.
Thank you.
Yes, and I know that you just have a page to help others to learn vocab by your illustration.
Yeah.
Yes, and I have a question for you. Do you think that art help you a lot in learning English, especially vocabulary? And can you share with us some tips to learn how to remember the words for the long times?
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you.
I will tell you 2 things. Firstly, I'm not a person who can learn the information by information. I realize my brain connects to information better with the visual stuff or the picture. So after several years, when I face with some difficult topic, I want to remember this hard information or this complicated information, I draw it. And after this, I remember like the process when I draw, and when I look at it several times, I remember it better. In terms of English vocabulary or different language, one friend told me that you need to use it at least 10 times so you can remember. So for me, social media nowadays is like the random tool that people use daily. We go to the page again and again, and like Rones. So we have like the option that we have to see it many times, and after you see it 10 times, you start to remember it. So, and I combine with my strength like doing the visual flashcard. So by that way, I feel relaxed, not pressure when study the words by myself.
You know, one of the things that we love about your story, and also one of the things that we love about the show here at IELTS Face Off as well, is we have this thing where, you know, everything is possible, and the purpose of communication is really important. How we communicate is really important. What message we put out is really important, right? It's less about how perfect your English is. I know for some exams it really is about how good the English ability is, but I think it's less about you achieving a really, really high IELTS score, but it's about using whatever you can with regards to the English language as a medium and a tool for us to learn and to be connected with others and to be connected with the world. Well, right now, we're going to cease our conversations for a little bit, but we're still going to have our show running, and the next section is IELTS Face Off Challenge, coming right up next. Welcome back to the studio, and this is the IELTS Face Off Challenge. And in this challenge, we're going to have the participation of an audience member. So lucky audience member, would you come on up? So nice to meet you. The rule of the game today is Tu's going to give us a few directions in about 2 minutes. She's going to describe something that we both have to draw. And at the end of the 2 minutes, we're going to show you all our pictures. And then you guys are going to be the judge to see whose picture wins or both pictures win. Sounds good?
Hopefully.
Tu, are you ready?
Yes.
Sounds great. All right, whenever you are ready to start.
Okay, so 2 women, 1 man, 2 red chairs. The man is wearing a red blouse. The man has long hair. The man is very handsome. 2 women holding his legs. The man is sitting on a crown. He's unhappy. The 2 women are happy, and the man is counting his money.
Okay, are you done?
Yes.
All right, Tu, your story is phenomenal. It brings me back to a situation where I have to contemplate the essence of life and the existence of people. Okay, so shall you start? I see that you've written something there.
Firstly, I focus on the detail, like how many characters, what they wear, who is the gender, or how many like subjects in the space. And then I will try to focus on the action and what happened and understand it, but it's like too late to transform.
So obviously people's minds think differently. Your mind probably thinks in that way. You need to have all the information out there before you can get to work. So yeah, tell us about your drawing.
So I remember I hear like the 1 man and 2 women. The man have a powerful in terms of finance, and 2 women like in opposite place, and maybe like try to do something with him. That's what I get like in general, but in detail I don't really remember.
Tu, what do you think of that photo?
Phenomenal too.
That is quite good, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you wanna hear mine?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you the story of the universe. In the beginning, the universe only had lines and curves, and it got nowhere. Until Tu came over and brought it all together. But because she only had 2 minutes, so these lines and curves could still only be lines and curves, but they're connected to each other in certain ways.
Yeah.
And because it's 1 man and 2 women, we think right away about vợ ba or a modern family where there's 1 man and 2 women. This is the leg, or it's more like the foot. So the foot, because the universe hasn't been completed yet, so it's still not attached to the man. It belongs to the man, but it hasn't been attached to the man.
Yeah.
And the 2 red chairs are there. It's a family of 3, and only 2 red chairs, so probably one of them sits on the other person's lap. Well, obviously one is sleepy. That leaves us with with 3 minus 1, and that is 2. And the other 2, they're not dressed yet, so likely they might be twins that are still in a woman's belly, right? So the man is sleeping, very excitedly waiting for the arrival of his 2 girl twins, and he's very happy. And this is it. So what do you think about our performance too? Who do you think won?
Phương drawing is pretty good, especially the face. But your drawing, Phoebe's drawing is, you know, like I like happy face, and I like green, but it's a little messed up with the chairs. But I like Bigfoot, so like you'll win. You're the winner.
Well, sorry, Tamypu. I really wanted you to win.
I'm okay.
But thanks, too, for making me the winner. And because you made me the winner, I have a present for you. All right? Thank you for being part of the show. And have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that was basically our challenge. I think that was quite stressful.
Oh, yeah, yes, for me.
I
Like,
can't-
it's the bring the feeling of like IELTS listening test to me.
It brings back the IELTS listening test.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds more like trying to venture into an area that you know I was not good at all, and so I kind of have to try to maneuver around the situation, right, and make it try to find out what she likes, you know, to win, and the big feat won. Okay, so what are some of the English words in the creator world that you really, really like?
It's simple, creative.
Are you creative all the time?
I think everyone creative all the time, not only in art or design. Every human, they create every day to make this planet work well together. Not only artists, I think so. Yeah.
Can you come every season to the show?
I wish I can. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's really been a pleasure having you. Thanks.
you.
So yeah, definitely come back, okay? Because I'm looking to talk a lot more.
Yeah.
And for you guys at home, we are done with this section, but we're moving on to the next section. And guess what the next section is? It is a section that you will enjoy very, very, very much. Stay tuned, see what it is. As I promised, and I always keep my promise, I'm going to let you have a look at our IELTS on the go. And this time, it's our co-host. Michael Liu will visit Ninh Bình, one of the most beautiful places, in my opinion, in Vietnam. There are mountains, there are goats, there are forests, there are also great food, and he's going to be talking to this one guy whose name also resounds with the forest. Have you guessed his name? If you haven't, take a look.
Right, hello, and welcome to IELTS on the Go. Screw this. I didn't sign up for 500 steps of upward hiking. This was not in the job description. But believe it or not, in the past, Chen kings used to have to do this all the time with their entourages of stunning concubines for this panoramic scenery and backstage backdrop, actually, as a matter of fact, for their dancing performances. And this is exactly why the place is called Dancing Cave. What an enticing name, right? Now, today, I don't have any gorgeous lady to dance with me or dance for me here, but I have someone else, even sexier. The man, Sun himself, a local representative here. So, Sun, what's so sexy about you?
Alright, hello, IELTS on the Go. My name is Sun, I'm 18 years old, and I'm a freshman of Diplomatic Academy of Vietnam, and my major is English language for the international relations. I was born and raised here, Ninh Bình province, the so-called destination of heroic history and scenic beauty.
So what is so cool about this place? What makes it so unique?
Múa Cave is located within Ninh Bình province of North Vietnam, near the southern margin of Red River Delta. Múa Cave is also known as the Dancing Cave, because this site was previously considered as a place where Chen King used to come there and enjoy the dancing and singing performance. And nowadays, it has been developed so fast as an eco-tourism complex with Hang Múa resort, containing the peaceful and nice view of rural villages, valleys, or even the vertical cliffs. And Múa Cave is constructed very carefully and safely, which based mainly on the model of the Great Wall in China. It has approximately 500 steps up to the top of the mountains to conquer. and because of its unique structure, it appeals thousands and millions of both tourists and artists a year, and has recently become a well-known destination, a must-see site when it comes to Ninh Bình province.
So hope that you can follow us in the next episode, and of course explore more about the beauty of Vietnam as well. So see ya in the next episode.
You heard the man!
When we talk about unleashing creativity, it can be something that's really elusive and scary. Now, one of the things that I'd like to think about is, it's not that scary, even though we are from an Asian or Vietnamese environment, and we are taught to follow directions and to listen to people. As the society progresses, I've realized that Vietnamese people are becoming a lot more creative. We're using grass as straws, we're using rice as wrapping material. All of these things are just fantastic. And in Vietnam, there's a solution to everything, and we can always be flexible. So that is a great element of creativity that I see here in Vietnam, and that I'm very inspired by. So even though it's the end of this episode today, we hope that you all will be able to unleash your creativity in your own way and find solutions to your problems. And of course, guys, our show is broadcast twice a week, every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. exclusively on BT7. You can watch it again on YouTube, so make sure you don't miss any episode. Take care and ciao ciao.